Dear fellow students, here in this lessons, we will going to discuss one last example of the point of divisions, all right, in general, to how to make use of section formula to find ratio and also to find coordinate, all right. Especially you need to know how to find the ratios here, all right. So here I would like to also discuss some particular skills, all right. On the last portion will be that the so-called analytic approach. What is an analytic approach? We'll say that we'll make use of the coordinate, the skill of coordinate, to discuss the general property of some particular you use to discuss in geometry. So it means that you want to use coordinates to prove in geometry. Or means that I would like to make some proof for geometry here. So I would like to make use of coordinate, making use the algebraic calculations to discuss the geometric problem here, right? So this is quite useful in the future, and this approach is so-called the analytic approach, right? Now let's look at here, 820. So when example 820, you are given 2 points here, and it's the A, -12, -6, and B is the 0, 2. Now, you know that, all right, it has the x-axis of P. It has the x-axis of P, it means that, all right, you know something about P. First of all, all right, an x-axis, you know that, all right, you have the 0 vertical level here, all right? So 0 vertical level, it means that the y coordinate of the P will be 0. And now for the x coordinate, you have no idea so far. So I introduce k particular unknowns to you. All right. Now remember that, all right, for the point of division, all right, you have the section formula. And in fact, the section formula, you can one for the x coordinate and you can one for the y coordinate. But in this particular case, you find out that you have really, all right, all the information about the y coordinate. So in fact, okay, you can make use of it to work out the ratio. Now, this is a particular important skills to how to find ratio here. I already suggested you to discuss it in 2 ways to discuss it. All right. First of all, there's a skill is that how to introduce unknown for ratio. This is the particular important skills here. Is how to introduce unknown or unknowns for ratio. Now you have the 2 possible forms. The first one is that let it to be the x to y. Not necessarily x to y, or in general is the r to s. All right. You have the 2 unknown step. All right. And then in fact you want to make these 2 unknown to work out the ratio. And the secondly is that you can, because if your answer is the 2 to 3, something like that, all right, in fact, it's also possible to 4 to 6, all right? So it means that even though the ratio is a fixed, it's only one particular answerable ratio. However, I can tell you that you will not fix the exact values of R and S, because in general, R and S can be of the different possible values so that you keep the same fraction here. So it means that, okay, in fact here, same ratio, we can have different values of R and S. Moreover, by the way, okay, you can also make a change of it so that you can get this to be 1 here. How? Because 2 divided by 2 will be equal to 1. So 3 divided by 2 will be 3 over 2. So it means that for any ratio, in fact, you can always keep one of the portion to be 1. It's always possible. Do you remember? All right. So now it means that you can always possible to keep it to be 1 here. So that it means that you can introduce it to 1 to R, all right? Because we haven't fixed that, okay, R must be integer, all right? So if the ratio finally will be 2 to 3, something like that, you will find out that your R will be the fraction, okay? That's no problem. However, if you introduce the ratio, all right, by using just 1 unknown, for example, in this case, 1 to R, it's easier for you to handle. Why? Because your equation will be contain only 1 unknown here. All right, so here I would like to use, all right, these 2 skills to demonstrate what is the difference in your presentation. Okay, so first of all here, by the way, disregarding the skills of using the unknowns, okay, first of all, you can introduce P equals to K0 here. Okay, where K is a number. All right, understand? So you may introduce unknown here, and then you find out that, okay, you may make use of the y coordinate here. All right, so it's a 0, 2, and -6. All right, and introduce the introduce the ratio here. So I would like to discuss first one, the method one, is that I would like to introduce let our AP to PP is equals to what? Is equal to R to S. Then in this approach, you introduce two unknown for the ratio, all right, is R to S. Then what happened? All right, you know that, all right, is a 0, is the 2, and -6, right? So it's something about 2. And then something about 6 here. All right. So making use of the, all right, the section formula, you match just with, all right, I have the cross matching here. So R matches with 2, and then S matches with 6. So we'll have the 0 equals to 2 times R, and then plus 6 times S, and divided by what? Divided by the R plus SS, right? And in this case, we'll have the, okay, multiplying to left hand side, so what we have will be 0 to the 2R plus 6S. Now I can tell you that in this case, okay, you can work out a particular equation to unknown, right? That in general, in fact, you have two unknown. There's there's some problems about that. Sorry, it should be -6. Okay, I make some mistake in my calculation now. All right, so what is the is a 2R plus the -6 time. Sorry. It should be, I'll repeat once again here, is a 0 equals to 2 times R plus the -6 times S divided by R plus S. All right, and then R times plus S multiplied to 0 is equals to 2R minus 6S equal to 0. And so now it's R minus 3S equal to 0. And in fact, in general, you'll be work out the relation between the R and S. And in Form 2, you know that, okay, based on this one equation in two unknown without constant term, then you can work out the ratio. Wow, because, all right, now this is easy to make mistake, right? Most of you say that R equal to 3S is the ratio is 1 to 3. Sorry, okay, there is a mismatch, okay, for the ratio portion. Wow, because what is the R to S is R divided by S. So I divide the S to the left hand side, so you can get 3, and in fact it's 3 over 1. So R to S will be equal to 3 to 1. Understand? Okay, so now I would like to, all right, here's the method one here. Okay, but in this question, in this approach, we will introduce the two unknowns here, all right? So now I will suggest you to another approach here, all right? It's the method 2. How do we discuss method 2? Now, because in advance you have no idea, okay, exactly what form of the final answers for the ratio, okay? So you may introduce let AP to PP to keep either portion to be 1. Now, okay, for example, all right, you say that 1 to K. But because in advance you don't know whether what exact form of the answer. So you can keep one of them is 1. So I'll keep the left hand side. That first portion is 1 to K. But not to use a K, all right, because K has been written to you, so it's 1 to R. So what is that here? It means that, okay, we write it here. All right, we draw the figure, and so we have the, all right, looks the Y coordinate, and there is a 1 to R, all right? And in this case, also, okay, make a correct matching. So it's a 1 matches with 2, and R matches with R. So it means that 0 will be equals to 2 times 1, and then plus the R times 6, and divided by what is that? It's -6. It's -6, and then by is a 1 plus R here. So now, all right, in this case, you have only one unknown here. It's easy to handle, all right? And your job is not to find ratio, but to find the values of the unknown. So you can get the, is a 6, sorry, is a 2 equal to 6R. And so R, you will get fractions, all right? It's a very common that, okay, your answer will be the fraction. By the way, your final answer here will be that AP equals to, sorry, not AP, is AP to BP is equals to 1 to 1 over 3. Now, all right, you need to make a conversion, okay, so that you have the better representation to final answer. So multiply 3 to both parts, all right, because you can always multiply or divide the same number, non-zero numbers to the portion of the ratios to have another form. So either multiply both number, okay, by 3, so you get 3 to 1. So in fact, you can also work out the answer here. However, if you do this approach, okay, your process will be that not to work on the two ratio, two unknowns, but you can just work on one unknown. So I prefer the latter one, all right? I prefer you use the letter scale scale, right? So it means that I will prefer method 2 for you, all right? So remember that the key point of this example is to how to introduce unknown and then based on the section formulas to work out the ratio, okay? So now, and answer for the part B is, I think it's easy because why? All right, I would like to make, because I know that it's 3 to 1. Once you know it's a 3 to 1, once you know that it's a 3 to 1, then you can easily to handle the problem because you have the exactly, all right, it's the A, the X coordinate, all right, the X coordinate is K, all right, and this is X coordinate, let's copy it. What's that? It's the 0 and negative 12. So it will 0 and negative 12. It's a negative 12. Look, just look at the, sorry, negative 12, and it's a 0, all right? So, is it? Yeah, okay. And so now, what we have will be that it will be 3 to 1. So I would like to make a match, all right? For this here is a 3 matrix of 0 and the 1 matrix is negative 12. So with the K will be equals to 3 times 0 and then plus 1 times the negative 12 and then divided by 3 plus 1, okay? So what we have will be negative 12 divided by 4. Negative 12 divided by 4, and so you can get negative 3. So finally, K will be negative 3, so it means that P will be equal to negative 3 and then 0 here. Okay, and we'd like to check whether it's reasonable, all right, for the answer, okay, by noting the features on the figure. All right, it seems that it's reasonable because, all right, it says P lies on the right part, all right, on the left side of the y-axis, okay. It's on the left side of the y-axis. So it when it say that it's a negative 3, 0, and then that's okay here. Okay, so finally your finally, okay, your answer will be negative 3, 0. Okay, it's the idea of this example. Right, so I repeat once again, the most important point will be in part A and to how to introduce introduce unknown to discuss, right, the ratio. You have 2 ways to discuss it. Okay, I prefer the latter one.